DNA, incomplete dominance, mutations. What even is this? I'm so confused. Let's just give up.
Do you guys need some help?
Wait, who's that?
I'm right here. I'm here to help you with genetics.
Genetics?
Yeah, this is the genetics classroom. Do you not know?
This is study hall.
No, not today. Today we're going to learn all about genetics.
I don't know. Genetics seem kind of difficult.
No, they're pretty simple. We'll just go over the basics at first. Genetics have to do with DNA and genes, and those things are what make you who you are.
Wait, what the heck is DNA? And genes, I've never even heard of those.
What, you don't know what DNA is? Okay, well, DNA is the information that codes for specific characteristics in humans. It's also short for deoxyribonucleic acid. And genes are pieces of DNA that make up those characteristics. Oh, and another important aspect of genetics is mitosis and meiosis. You're going to have to know that.
Mitosis? Meiosis? That seems too difficult to remember.
It's not that hard. They're just like cell divisions. Meiosis has 2 rounds of genetic divisions, and mitosis only has 1. In meiosis, homologous chromosomes separate, leading to daughter cells that are not genetically identical to the parent cells. And in mitosis, they just separate to have identical daughter cells that are identical to the parent cells. That's pretty simple.
Okay, well, we understand DNA and mitosis and meiosis and genes, but what are alleles and what do they have to do with dominant and recessive?
Well, alleles are different types of genes. So your gene codes for what color of hair you have. But you can have lots of different kinds of hair, so the allele is like which kind you're going to get. It'd be easier if I just showed you. So you can have big and little alleles. So we'll say it'll be like short and tall, or how tall you're going to be. So this is like a big allele, which is also dominant, which you guys asked, right?
Yeah.
So dominant means that if you get this gene, it's dominant over all the rest. So this is what's going to like show. So if you get this, you're going to be tall. And this is a little allele, so it codes for being short. And this is recessive, so it won't show. So if you get this gene, it can be covered up by dominant. The only way you'll actually be short is if you get 2 of them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now that we understand like dominant and recessive, what does that have to do with the genotypes and phenotypes?
Okay, well, genotypes and phenotypes are basically what you are. Your genotype is like what I just wrote, like the big T, little t. Like, it's your genes inside of you. And your phenotype is just what you look like. Curly hair, short, tall, the color of your eyes, the color of your skin.
Okay, so one of these problems talks about a Punnett square, and how would you do that?
So a Punnett square involves all the things I've already covered. So how about just read me the problem? I'll just do that.
Okay, well, this is a problem about a cat, and something about their homozygous recessive, and the dad is heterozygous dominant.
Okay, I'll just make a problem. So, say we'll do it for eye color. Brown and black. So if the dad's heterozygous means there's one of each. They're different. So the dad would be big B, little b. And you said the mom was homozygous recessive. So the mom would be little b, because she has a recessive gene, and homo means the same, so it's 2 of the same. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So this is a Punnett square. So like we want to know what these 2 cats, like what kind of babies they're going to have. Brown eyes, black eyes. So we can like predict this before they even have the babies using the Punnett square. Each parent passes on one of their genes randomly. So you just pass on one of them. So the babies have 50% chance of having brown eyes and a 50% chance of having black eyes. Does that make sense on how to do those?
Okay, well, this problem is talking about how you can cross a white flower and a red flower and get a pink flower. That just doesn't even make sense.
Well, that is a thing called incomplete dominance. Some alleles aren't dominant and recessive, like the black and the brown eyes. Like this one, if you have this, you have black eyes. If you have this one, you have brown eyes. Like it just stays the same. But sometimes in flowers, you can have this. So the red is dominant and the white is recessive. That's a little W in case you're wondering. But if you get both of them as heterozygous, you're pink. So like this. So this flower would be red, this flower would be white, and these 2 flowers would be pink. That's incomplete dominance.
Okay, so this problem talks about how a cat can have both black and orange stripes. How's that even possible?
Well, that's not incomplete dominance, that's actually called codominance. So what that is both alleles are dominant. So orange, and you said black? Black. So the next problem I can give you is about some rabbits. So the rabbits can be black, chinchilla, Himalayan, or albino.
What? Rabbits can be black, chinchilla,
It's a color, dude.
Look, chinchilla,
We did this in one of our bios.
Himalayan, or albino. So all 4 of these are colors of rabbits.
Wait, I don't understand why there's more than 2 alleles.
Well, there's 4 because there can be 4 different colors. That's what's called multiple alleles. So there's like like we talked about the genes earlier, which code for specific proteins. The alleles are the type of the gene you can get. And in this problem, you can get 4 different types of the gene. You can be black, you can be chinchilla colored, you can be Himalayan colored, or you can just be white. So they're still dominant and recessive, but they're in order. So this is the most dominant gene. The chinchilla is recessive to the dominant gene, but it's also dominant to all the rest of the genes. The Himalayan is recessive to the chinchilla and the black, but it's dominant to the white And the white gene is recessive to all the rest of them. So read me that problem about what we're going to cross, and I'll show you how to do a multiple allele problem.
Okay, so this problem that's in my packet asked me what the percentage, the chance of having a Himalayan babies whenever you cross a male that is heterozygous chinchilla and white with a female that is homozygous Himalayan.
Homozygous Himalayan, you said? Yes. Okay. Well, we learned earlier in Punnett squares that males always go on top. So your heterozygous chinchilla is right here. So it's chinchilla, and then you said it's heterozygous chinchilla white. So it's that and white. So this dad looks chinchilla because this one is more dominant than that one. And then you said homozygous Himalayan. Okay. So the mom looks Himalayan because she's homozygous, so she has to be that. So when you cross these just the same as you would the regular cross. There's just more letters. So to answer the problem with your question, how many of the babies are going to be Himalayan?
So the answer would be 2.
2. Or 50%, or you could write it like 1/2.
Okay, so I keep having to do more than one Punnett square just to find all the genotypes and phenotypes for just one answer. Is there any way we could put these together and make just one big Punnett square?
Well, is there multiple alleles or like more than one thing you're trying to find in the problem?
Yes, like this problem wants to know if the flower is going to be tall or short, or pink, white, or red.
Okay. So, say you don't want to have to do 2 individual Punnett squares. You can do something called a dihybrid cross. So to do this cross, you have to do what's called independent assortment. So the mom can pass on a big T, and if the mom passes on her big T, what's the dad going to pass on? So that's how you do that. So you want to make a big Punnett square, just like you usually would, and then use independent assortment. So the dad always goes on top. So if the dad passes on his big T, he can pass on either big R or little r. So we'll go big R. And he can also pass on his little r. If he passes on the little t, he can pass on his big R, or he can pass on his little r. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So when the mom does it, if she passes on a big T, what's she going to pass on?
She has to pass on a little R, right?
Okay. And the same for the little t. But see, since there's 2 little r's, you don't have to have 4 different sets of alleles. You can just have 2. So then you just cross it just like you normally would. It's just a little bit bigger. So here, the mom and dad would pass on big T, big R, little r. Big T, big R, little r. What do you think this box would be?
Big T, little r, little r.
Okay, what about this box?
Big T, little R, little R.
Okay, and you just fill out the Punnett square the rest of the way, and then you would know if the babies were going to be tall and pink, or short and red, and you can... So I'm going to give you guys some time to work on all the problems we've already covered, and then if you have any questions, I'm still here. But while you're doing that, I'm also going to quickly go over 4 more topics that I know are going to be coming up soon, even if you haven't had them already. So we have what's called sex chromosomes. Sex? What's so funny?
You said sex.
Okay, not funny, guys. But there's sex chromosomes that it's like a trait that's carried on your sex chromosome. So like girls are XX and boys are like XY. And the trait is like carried on that chromosome. It's not carried on a gene or on DNA. It's like color blindness. Like the X, it either can, we'll make color blindness C. The X can either carry the trait for color blindness or it can't. It's normal. The Y can't carry the trait for color blindness. So a dad, say he's colorblind XY. And say the mom is regular XC, but she carries a colorblind trait. Colorblindness is recessive, so she carries it, but she doesn't exhibit it. So this mom would be, one baby would be. So they have a 50% chance of their children being colorblind, and a 50% chance of them not being colorblind. And 3 of their children are going to be carriers of colorblindness, and 1 may not be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there's lots of shit like that, like color blindness, there is your blood type, in some animals, like their color is like based off of that. So the next topic is epistasis, but epistasis kind of goes with polygenic traits, so I'll explain that first. Polygenic traits are when it takes multiple genes to make like one characteristic. So your height in humans is like 6 genes. So there's like 6 different genes of the same thing. So say you get 1 dominant tall, and then in the next cross you get 1 recessive tall or short, and the next cross you get 1 recessive short. So like that'll mean you'll be like medium height. Like it exhibits how tall you're gonna be. So with polygenic traits is epistasis. In some animals, like you could like gene like to be like a black cat, but because of epistasis, there's another gene that will like block your black catness and will like. Okay, I know, that was funny, don't laugh at me. Like, overpower it to where your cat will be gray, but it still has the, dominant black gene. Does that make sense? It's kind of difficult. You'll go more in depth later.
Yeah, I guess we get it.
And the last thing is mutations. Mutations is, like, changes in the DNA on your chromosomes So if somehow like during meiosis or mitosis or during like interphase, your chromosomes and DNA like get flip-flopped or changed or get moved, and it causes a mutation. Cancer's a mutation. Sometimes like having a disease is a mutation. Some can be good, some can be bad, and some can just not affect you at all. I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson in the genetic classroom. I gotta pop on over to some other confused bio students, but I'll probably be back.
Now we're guaranteed an A on this test.
Now, I have to do all these individual Punnett squares to get the. Okay, so. Wait, what? Wait, did you want us to cut it right here? Do you want to do this?
A chinchilla or a rabbit.
Cut it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Seriously?
Meiosis hat meat.
Dominance. Oh.